G'day folks, Chris McLean back with another episode, and in the studio today I have Mark Tompkins from Buzz Marketing Agency. And they help many local businesses with their web development, online marketing, video and social media strategy. And their main strategy is helping businesses pick the right marketing strategy to grow their business. And all good business, all good plans start from a good strategy. Mark, thank you so much for dropping by the show.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Great to have you here. So take us through, as always on the show, we like to start at the start. How did Buzz come to be? What's your story to date?
Yeah, so it was about 9 years ago. My two business partners now, actually, I didn't start the company, but I came on about a year after. So it was in its infancy. Just through some other business opportunities, I came on board and became partner, and 9 years later, we're going strong. But yeah, the first 3 or 4 years, obviously, as a new business, you're always struggling to bring in the cash and find the customers. So it's been a long journey, but man, it's been awesome. And I think this is probably one of the best fits as I'll call it a job, but as a business that I've ever been in. So it feels comfortable and it feels great to be a part of.
Awesome. So how did that work out for you in those first few years? How did you go from kind of being frantic and chaotic and chasing all the tails, as we tend to do when we start out? How did you kind of refine that down and get much more definite and focused on what you were going to become as an agency going forward?
Yeah, I think just as an agency starts, you kind of take on every client and you start to learn over time which clients you don't want to have as a client.
Process of elimination.
Yeah, so over time you kind of your clients begin to become more established, and you lose the clients that are more troublesome. It seems like the clients that don't want to pay the amount of money they want to pay are usually the ones that are causing you most of the issues and want more. So as you go through, you kind of learn who you want to do business with. But obviously at the start, you can't really be picky, and it helps you learn who you want to do business with anyways. You have to go through that process. And then, the way we kind of grew our business was a lot of just local networking and going to every chamber of commerce and business event in town, and just being consistent there and just being visible. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we have a reputation locally, and people know us now, just because we were consistently going to events. And actually now that after COVID hit, I basically had to restructure our strategy, and I started using LinkedIn video as a way to reach out to our target. And I found COVID actually made it better for us, because instead of going to an event and meeting 20 people, I can shoot a video and reach 1,000 with one video. And now our exposure for the business is 100 times where it used to be. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise, and LinkedIn has been just incredible way to reach out to those clients that we want to do business with.
Yeah, LinkedIn's an interesting platform for that. It still has that professional sort of tone to it, where people seem to be more receptive to more direct contact, right? And more, hey, this is what I do. Here's a value proposition. Hey, if you're keen, get back to me. Let's jump on a call. Whatever that process is, it seems to be there's a more acceptable to kind of go a little bit more direct and not have to go through 7 different messages. Just, hey, how's your day? What are you doing? What's going on? Before you kind of get to cut to the chase. Is that what you found with LinkedIn, that you can be a bit more targeted and direct?
Yeah, 100%. And I think part of the strategy is just creating content on LinkedIn, and compared to like a Facebook or Instagram, when I post things on LinkedIn, I'm getting, a good 5-6 weeks out of my content. So people are seeing my content, but it's not only once. Like, some people are like, I saw that video like 7 times in my feed. So the reach is just incredible. It's like Facebook 6 years ago, where if you posted something, people actually saw it, and you could actually grow a Facebook page. Like my last business, we grew a Facebook page to 600, 700,000 people. If I tried to do that today, it's all monetized. So it's
you got to pay for that.
Impossible to do that. So, so LinkedIn is kind of, in my opinion, the new Facebook, but it's for business. So it's like, it's a double whammy of like power for a business owner. So if you can get content out there and just be visible, it's an incredible way to reach your clients. And then part of the strategy as well is, if I want to do business with somebody, I just add them as a connection, which is normal. Everyone always says yes. And then what I'll do is I'll start liking some of their posts. I'll comment, and then when maybe 3 or 4 or 5 weeks down the road, then I'll reach out directly. They know who I am. They see me posting and like commenting and liking their stuff. It's way better than a cold call where they have no idea who you are. Now you've established at least some visibility before you reach out. And I think it was about 2 months ago, I got my second biggest client directly through that strategy.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
So it works, and it's been working over and over again. And I don't think, over the last 3 or 4 months, I would say 95% of the people that I've met have seen my content, which is like unheard of. It's crazy. So LinkedIn is just, if you have a strategy anywhere, business to business, LinkedIn is the way to go.
Yeah, it's really interesting on the reach that you get, because Facebook, I mean, the number of friends and people that I have in my network on Facebook that I just do not see their content. I literally, like, it was probably a week or so ago, I literally went through my friend feed just to see if I was still friends with people I used to see all their content. And I said, maybe they've deleted me or something. And no, they're all still there, but I've literally never seen their content for the last couple of years in Facebook. And they're posting, like, I looked through their feeds, they're posting, regularly. And it's so hard to get cut through kind of organically on Facebook. So yeah, it's amazing that you're seeing that, just that reach. You can put something up and people are actually going to see it.
Yeah, it's
LinkedIn.
Awesome. Yeah, and the Facebook issue is like, the algorithms have changed, where it's like you like, if you can watch your feed, if you go and like 10 people's things, all of a sudden your feed is just those 10 people almost.
Yeah,
it's like, it's really pinpointed, and it's like, instead of like 100 different people, you're seeing like a really like small portion of what you're actually doing on, and you can get pigeonholed, and like you said, you stop seeing actual content of people you actually want to see.
Yeah, very true. And groups, with all the groups and everything as well, that seems to have priority as well. Group stuff always sort of, a lot of that comes through. So if you're in a bunch of groups, you're getting all of the group posts, and really interesting. It's a good point, actually. I mean, the people that you connect with, it's a very, very small field of play that you're getting, which is no surprise, unless that's why the same people engage with your content all the time, because
that's all
maybe they're the only people seeing it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is kind of unfortunate, because it's there's probably, like you said, a ton of content out there that you want to pull in, but the algorithm has like gotten rid of it.
Yeah, it's an interesting space. It's certainly moved to, you got to pay to play to really exist, or be, you got to get into the organic stuff and posting in groups and sort of that side of thing, which is a different play, I guess. So you got to consume time, or you consume budget to kind of play in Facebook.
We don't even bother with like Facebook management anymore, because I'd rather just put a budget in, and then I know that it's going to work, because you can target the right people with the organic stuff is just so hard. You can still do it. You have to be skilled at it, and you have to be consistent, and there's a lot of time put into it. Which, as an agency, it's really hard to hire those people. It's a tough thing to hire for. And then B, it's like, you really need to be, like, anybody asks me for that, I'm like, just do it yourself. Like, you're in your business, shoot a video, take a photo. The content is quick. Like, it takes you a minute. You don't really need to edit. You can, but in my opinion, it's just get the content out. Like most of my LinkedIn stuff, I've got editors and stuff, but I'd rather just put it out, because if I wait and give it to my editor, it comes the next day, and it's just like, sometimes it gets forgotten. So if you just put it out, you're better off to just put it out than edit it.
Yeah. So with that, you're obviously the perfectionism sort of can start to kick in for a lot of us, right? Where we're not publishing because it's not 100%, or I hate how my voice sounded in that thing, or the graphics aren't perfect. But whipping something up in Canva, shooting a quick video on your phone and just publishing it straight out, it can be just as effective, right? If the messaging, if the content, literally the messaging in the content is good and right, it's going to work, because you find people are pretty used to just kind of production value doesn't have to be Hollywood studio, right?
Care about the people, right? They want to see you or your content. They don't really care if it's over edited. Yes, I put edited content out with some intros and outros just to have some professional content. But most of the stuff, like, I don't even, like, half the time I don't even watch my videos. I just shoot them and I just put them out, because if I spend any time watching them and going, oh, I shouldn't post that, then you end up not posting it. Some of my best videos are ones that I didn't want to post. And
it's funny, that, isn't it?
Like, you shouldn't be the one that decides what's good. It should be the people that is your audience. They'll tell you. Yeah. If it sucks, it'll be gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just post something else and it's going to disappear.
Yeah, it'll be gone within a day. If it's good, it'll last, right? So you just have to get over that. The perfection people, that's where they go wrong, is they just don't post anything, and you end up not doing anything, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of the clients that you serve, is this when you start talking strategy, is this sort of is this what you're recommending to your clients now, is sort of quick and dirty, for lack of a better term, sort of quick, dirty content, get it out, get it published, whilst having some more polished stuff as well that's maybe scheduled?
Yeah. So like combo. Most of the clients that we have that we do content for, the biggest thing that we do now, and it's fairly new over the last like 3 or 4 months, is we'll set aside like a day, like half a day, like 4 or 5 hours, and we'll plan out 30 or 40 shots with the owners. Some of them will be edited, some of them will just look organic, some of them will be shot just off a phone, so it actually looks a little more organic. And then we'll shoot that 30 pieces of content video, 45 to 50 seconds each. And then now that company will have a good 3-4 months of content that they can post. It's really good quality. It's interesting, and they don't have to spend the time every single day trying to think of what to post. It's all done for them. So that's been a really, effective strategy for my clients now, because it doesn't take them the time, and then all they have to do is post it.
Nice. So is that where you're looking at sort of video content, and you might shoot a 7-8 minute, like a longer video piece, and then chunk that down into 30-second, 1 minute grabs, and that's giving you all of that content? Is that sort of how you do
it? It's planned out 30-45 seconds. So like an example, we did a plumbing company. So we did an origin story. We did the family. We did the son. We did some of their employees talking about some of the products that they have and some of the services. We did some fun stuff of just getting them to tell jokes, just a mix of like professional all the way to, hey, we want to know who they are, because people want to do business with people they like and they know. And so a lot of the social media stuff that we do is just, who are the people? Everybody knows what a plumber does and what a heating company does. They want to know, they'd rather do business with somebody they like, and that's how you get them to like you, is just be visible online and just be yourself.
Yeah, and connecting with the human side of the business is always a win, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then part of the strategy too is I will be in some of the videos, so I'll be like more interview style, so that when we post those videos, I'll also post them on my social media. So it's a little bit, I get some free content out of it at the same time, and they get some free promotion. So it's kind of a win-win-win. And it's what that does is it also gets a third party in to promote their business, where they're not talking about themselves. It's me getting them to talk to me about them. So it's less of a sales pitch. Is more of just a information session that I'm trying to get out of them. So that seems to work really well.
Yeah, which is essentially what we do here on the podcast, right? And we were talking sort of offline that you're looking to sort of bring a podcast into your ecosystem as well. Again, very, very effective platform. And for my guests, people that come on, it gives them a marketing asset, right? It gives them some great content where they're not just necessarily promoting themselves, but they're sort of in the hot seat, right? In the authority position of someone that's being interviewed. And it provides that kind of a different dynamic to just me talking about myself in front of my own camera, publishing it to my own feed. It gives that nice sort of third-party interview
I'm sure my
expertise.
audience is used to me just talking about myself a lot.
Nice to change it up every now and then.
I do actually. Most of my videos are actually with clients, so I barely. We do promote ourselves a little bit. Most of it is just talking about our clients, and just by doing that, that's gotten us a lot of like just visibility, and it's not pretentious. We're like, hey, buy this off us. We build websites. It's just like, hey, this is our client. This is what they do, and just by just being with them, people just start to know what you do.
So in terms of what you do, it's a nice segue. What are your core offerings? What do you do for your clients? You just sort of, so you talked about web and social content. Is it sort of full service, or do you specialize kind of in the digital aspect? What are the core services that you're bringing?
Yeah, so website design, e-commerce, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn marketing, video production, so videography, photography. We do actually do a lot of real estate, so we do 3D virtual tours, and we do branding and branding guidelines and logos. So kind of the full spectrum minus the social media management. Which we try to get our clients to either do themselves, or we help them build the content and then get them to post it.
Great. And in terms of that, so that you can go to the social piece, are you recommending that they just sit down and schedule everything out, or is it a combination of scheduling things and then doing some stuff kind of on the fly? What do you find works better in just terms of management and effectiveness? Is it getting a bunch of stuff done and just scheduling out 5 months of content and sitting back and then?
Yeah, really, that's the best way to do it, because most companies are so busy, and even if they assign somebody to do that job, it's a job that's just really hard to get people to do. Unless you've got some tattoo companies do really well at it. There's hair salons typically do it quite well, but even those businesses that have the age group that should be good at it, it's still a struggle for them to actually create the content or original content or even posting. So I find that if you can build the content out quickly and give it to them and then just schedule it, that's usually the best, because most of the time they'll take 2 weeks, they'll start doing it, and it, like, almost every time it drops off and turns into nothing. Even if they create, like, some of my clients, I've put into their job descriptions that they have to post on social media. That still doesn't work. It just seems like the ball just gets dropped every time.
Yeah, so you get busy with actually doing the work in the business and doing your job right, which is also kind of important for an employee. Yeah. I think that's. Sorry,
I struggle sometimes too, creating content when I should be very good at it.
Yeah. It's just another thing to do, right? It's another thing you've got to do during the day, and it can, as quick as it can be, it just takes still a little bit of time and focus. And what am I going to say? What haven't I said before? How am I going to craft this? Is it a video? Is it content? There's still, if you can take that decision out and just spend 1 week and get everything done for the next 5 months, and then get back to working on your business. Yeah, I reckon that's a pretty effective way to get a good lot of content out. Once you sort of got that content scheduling, how are you making that link back to other assets? So sort of back to the website, or back to sales, to e-com, to conversions. When you're scheduling stuff out over such a long period, how are you making sure it's tying back to kind of timely promotions, web pages, landing pages, sales, that kind of thing?
I think, most of the social media stuff we do is more of like a branding exercise, where it's not exactly like a sales tool. Yes, you'll get some sales out of it, but it's a hard thing to track. You can post something and have a link to your website, but you almost don't want to have links all the time in your post, because then all of a sudden it looks like sales. You want it to be organic. If they're not gonna see like a plumbing, an owner of a plumbing company, and he's talking about the origin story, that's not going to get them to action and go to the website and do business with them. That's going to just create the brand, so that when their hot water tank goes, it's kind of top of mind. Vision Mechanical, those guys. Now I remember, I really like that guy. I want to support his business. So that's really
Right.
more of the mechanic of how it should work. Because like a plumber, that Google Ads is what's going to make them the most amount of money. With online advertising, I almost, some of my plumbing companies, I tell them to stop their Facebook ads because it's not doing anything. I'd rather create business through Google Ads, and then when they're ready and have that volume, then go into those other streams. But some companies are just not big enough, and they don't even have
Right.
the volume yet to even warrant that.
What does that volume look like? So when you're sort of starting, what's that in terms of, is that a sales volume or a lead volume, or?
I think I think it's just a company size volume. I mean, it depends on what
Right.
industry you're in. And plumbing company, I keep bringing that up, but there's other companies like that, a hair salon where that type of social media stuff that will create business because you're showing, this, a good looking girl that just got her hair done and it looks amazing. That will create sales because it's a direct, a direct emotional contact to what's actually happening on their screen,
Yeah, right.
and that will turn into a sale. So it totally depends on what business you're talking about.
Yeah, and you tend to work with local businesses. Is that kind of the ecosystem that
Yeah, most of them, I'd
your
say,
audience is
yeah,
local?
like 85% are local within our area, just
Yeah.
because we've created a really good um, local presence, and so a lot of people know us now, because we've built that audience up. And actually, before COVID hit, a lot of the agency models and ones where you should be scaling is to go into one industry and do that one industry well, and then blow it up from there and go across Canada or US or Australia, whatever that is.
Yeah.
If we had done that, we were planning on doing that. If we had done that right before COVID, we were going to go into the auto industry. I know some other agencies in town that were just auto. They literally lost all their clients overnight, and their
Yeah.
agency went from millions to zero.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They've come back, because the auto industry's come back strong. But if we weren't diversified and didn't have a lot of local clients, and some out, we've got some in the States and some across Canada. If we didn't have that diversification, we would have been in real trouble. But luckily, we've now changed our strategy to go, there's enough business within our area that we could quadruple our business in 2 years without even having to go outside of our area. And we've got the reputation. So we're like, why would we spend more money going across and trying to get more clients in that are not in our area when we've already got the reputation here and people know us?
Yeah.
So that
Interesting.
strategy, we've come back and kind of changed everything since COVID, and it's worked wonders for us.
So I mean, that's almost a niche in its own, right? Sort of being local.
Yeah.
It's a geographic niche.
True. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kind of it's a niche without being like auto industry is a niche, but my local area geographically is a good place to deep dive as well. Rather than say we're all things to all people, we're going all across Canada. No, let's just focus on our local area. And obviously, does that mean that you're more likely to be able to pop down the street and meet with your customers, right, and have that personal contact?
Yeah.
You find that helps?
And yeah. Oh, it helps big time. Some people, I find even now, some of the bigger agencies in our area, I get clients that come in and go, "You're the only person that actually wanted to meet me."
Yeah, in person I've seen for 6 months.
Yeah. They're like, nobody else. Everyone's like, let's do a Zoom. Like, this was kind of before COVID, but everyone wants to do a Zoom call or get me to come to their office. I'm like, no, I'll come to you. I want to see your business. I want to talk to your employees. I want to know what you're all about so that I can, accurately market your company. And I think that's really helped us too, is that personal contact.
Yeah. And particularly for what you guys are doing, being that local support, right? We're local, we're supporting other local businesses, having that face-to-face, particularly in the world that we're living in now, where everything is 100% digital and 100% remote for a lot of companies now.
Yeah.
Being able to go and have that face-to-face and that human contact, and like I said, then obviously go and film people and shoot in their locations and bring that to the world. I think that's super important these days. So it's a nice way to sort of get cut through. It's bizarre that's divergent, right? To actually go and speak to somebody in person.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, and that's another strategy too. Is I'll shoot a video with any business owner, whether it's my client or not. So if anybody wants to be promoted, I shoot videos with everybody. So it creates content for me, creates me a connection with a business owner, and maybe they're not ready or maybe they're new, and but down the road they'll always remember that we shot a video together, and 3 years from now when they have a strong business and are ready to market, I'm probably first on the list.
Yeah, nice. I love that. So if people do want to find out and come and connect with you, where are some of the best places for them to come and organize to have a catch up? If they're in your local area,
the website,
where's the best place?
Yeah, this is .buzz, and then my Facebook there, and yeah, just connect with me. I do LinkedIn training, so if anybody wants some free LinkedIn training, I can definitely help with that. I've got some really good strategies, and it'd take me a good half hour to 45 minutes, and you'll have some really solid strategies to help your business. I think LinkedIn is one of the things that I can really accelerate any type of business, because it's so untapped right now. The visibility is crazy. So no matter what business you're in, if you're B2B, and you can get on LinkedIn and even create some content, you're going to blow your competition away.
Yeah, I love it. And as we were talking about earlier in the show, love the strategies that you're employing over there. Seems to be a really fruitful place to go and get those B2B clients. So yeah, if you're out there listening and you'd like to connect with Mark, I'll drop all of those links in the show notes so you can go and get connected and work out how you can blow your business up on LinkedIn, get some video content, get some content produced, so you can start to build those social profiles as well, that people know, like, and trust you by seeing who you are and what you do, and sort of getting behind the scenes and the human aspects of your business and all that good stuff. Mark, thank you so much for dropping by and spending the time with me today. Been a really interesting chat.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. It's been awesome.
No, pleasure, mate. Pleasure. And all the best for everything going forward. And let us know when you get your podcast up and running. We'll definitely check that out.
I'll return the favor.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Happy to come and drop by. And I say, well, whatever the topic is, I'm sure we can shoehorn something in and make it work.
Yeah, so sure.
Good luck with that, and let us know when that's live. People go and connect with Mark. Get connected over on his LinkedIn, on his Facebook, and all the links below. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And until the next time, we'll see you then. Cheers.